A few days ago, Play Pokemon released the official rules for upcoming live events, and a lot of people are very unhappy with what they decided. For those who aren't aware of the situation, allow me to break it down. Most tournaments typically follow one or two types of rules: closed team sheet and open team sheet. Closed team sheet is what you have on things like the ranked ladder. Basically, each player only knows the information that they can find out for themselves in team preview, in battle, or from other outside sources. Open team sheet means that both players are given information about their opponent's team, including but not limited to moves, items, abilities, and effort values. Got that? Good. Well, Play Pokemon has decided that this upcoming season is going to be an open team sheet format with the exception of stats. This means that moves, abilities, items, and most importantly, Terra types will be known to each player before the match starts. Most people agree that knowing your opponent's Terra type is a good thing, since terrestrialization can add so much variant to a game, but people are getting upset because of the rest of the information. I've seen a few takes online about this, and a lot of them are really good, but there are a few different takes in particular that I want to talk about today, and essentially tell you why I think an open team sheet format is fine. Oh yeah, before we actually get into it, I do want to preface this by saying that this video is my interpretation of how the rules will impact competitive play. You are totally free to disagree, but I still want to address some of these points. One of the arguments that I see a lot of people making is that an open team sheet format stifles creativity and makes it so that players who are trying to use niche mons are at a disadvantage. I can see why people think this makes sense, but I'm here to tell you why it kinda doesn't. A lot of people seem to falsely associate creativity with the element of surprise. While you can be creative and surprise your opponents with your unique choices, this is not synonymous with the surprise factor. A great example of this is my use of Herdier in the 2022 March International Challenge. While it's true that a lot of people may not have seen Herdier's supportive moveset coming, that isn't the only reason that the strategy was effective. As I mentioned in my explanation video, one main reason for using it was that people don't prepare for Herdier. They don't run fighting coverage for Herdier, they run ground coverage for Incineroar. They don't run calcs to 2-shot Herdier, they run calcs to 2-shot Incineroar. They don't have tools to counter Baby Doll Eyes, they have tools to counter... Do you see what I'm saying? There are elements that go into niche mons besides just the surprise value, and the main one is that your opponent might not prep explicitly for your set. I have no doubt that even if my opponents knew my 4 moves, Herdier would still have done its job perfectly in terms of tanking hits and reducing incoming damage. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. If a strategy is good, it will work. If a strategy is bad, it won't. And this shouldn't be determined by if your opponent sees your moveset coming. If you're trying to be creative, but your strategy falls apart if, God forbid, your opponent knows your moveset, then chances are the strategy is too gimmicky or inconsistent. Closed team sheet formats don't even completely save gimmicky players. There is a ton of scouting that happens at the top level at live tournaments. Chances are that if you play someone in round 1, all of their friends will know the ins and outs of your team by round 2. What open team sheet does do is level the playing field in terms of scouting. The benefits of having connections at tournaments is reduced, and I would debate that this actually helps inexperienced or lesser known players level the playing field, especially if you're not someone who has Rillaboom's entire possible learn set completely committed to memory. All in all, while I do enjoy the information game that is a game of Pokemon, I think that for live tournaments an open team sheet format is much more optimal, and I look forward to seeing what everyone's packing going into 2023. Good luck everybody!